man, nearly 500 pounds, the one-man gang. From Singapore, his opponent, the lovely Sunshine, presents at 247 pounds, the Great Kabuki. Bronco Lubitsch to officiate.
Ah, what a remarkable turn of events things can have. What interesting history that can come back around. Here's Gary Hart with the one-man gang and formerly associated with the Great Kabuki. In fact, I guess you could say the Great Kabuki's presence in this country rests in part with the efforts of Gary Hart. And there he is, the great, silent, dangerous Kabuki. Dangerous to anybody, but very loyal to whomever he is associated with, and right now with Sunshine at his side. The Great Kabuki and the one-man gang. And Gary Hart, look at that bald pate. There are no keys to that bald pate. That came because his one-man gang lost to Kerry Von Erich. Well, the one-man gang is from Chicago, and in our audience tonight, a couple of young gentlemen from Chicago came all the way into the Sportatorium here in Dallas to see world-class championship wrestling. And a whole group of folks. Oh, there they are. Those two young gentlemen you just saw there. There's a whole group, too, from my hometown of Muskogee, Oklahoma. That's right, an Okie from Muskogee originally, but that's another story. The Indian capital of the world. Well, let's get to the center of the ring and to these two varied, stylish, two very dangerous, two untypical wrestlers. Because the Kabuki is steeped in the Oriental tradition. Steeped, made up, there's the green mist, the dangerous green mist. And the one-man gang knows about that. Look at Kabuki. It's like he's hiding behind a veil. You think of samurai.
Keep the low block.
You think of the great warriors of the Far East.
Don't worry about it. That's just psychology, brother.
And of course, the great Kabuki,
You move in on it.
who paints his face in the tradition of the Kabuki theater, which is an honorable and venerable part of the culture of Japan. And so on we go with the other side. Oh, look at that reverse. Oh, look at that kick. Talk about quick. Now, you're seeing a man here who weighs around 2-something.
Eye on his feet.
Kabuki probably weighs in at 240 pounds. The one-man gang weighs close to 500. Now, that's giving up a tremendous amount of weight. But when you have the skills of a Kabuki, he almost... Well, I guess we could say, and he would be able to do it if it were necessary, the ability to put the fatal kick, the fatal chop, if it were his life at stake. He can do that at his size, even a mountain of a man like the one-man gang. So we have a variety of cultures here. Halsted Street, Chicago, a tough, tough place. Boom. One-man gang, though. Kabuki in the corner, and this is the very thing Kabuki did not want. But a chop across the head. And the one-man gang is staggered, and Kabuki fighting out the underdog type. The smaller man in a heavyweight championship battle. And look at this, chop, chop, and the gang is addled. The gang is staggering. Halsted Street, where are you? Another culture, another style. As Kabuki giving up 250 more pounds at about a foot in height. Battles back against the gang. And Gary Hart knows very well what dangers lurk for the one-man gang against his former protege, the Great Kabuki.
Come on, get him! Get him! Come on, drop the damn hammer
And
on his head!
Crowd, the overflow crowd at the
Drop the
Sportatorium
hammer!
picks up the chant as Sunshine watches
Drop it!
with interest and excitement to this unusual out. Now there's a pickup on a choke. Kabuki has to ride that out if he can, and it's going to be tough. He got caught. One mistake, and it could cost him the bout as the one-man gang hammers the Great Kabuki end again. Gary Hart on the side cheering for his man. A chop! The Kabuki can move from any angle and devastate his man, but right now the one-man gang is devastating. And there goes Kabuki. Here comes the one-man gang. Now Sunshine is at a disadvantage. I don't know what one-man gang here with what he's going to try on Kabuki. It looks like it's going to be something very devastating. And a backbreaker across the top and down the steps. The one-man gang, as opposed to Kabuki, is a person out of control at times. Out of control, sometimes beyond help from his mentor, Gary Hart. Beyond control from Gary Hart, and Kabuki is back in. The Great Kabuki goes live by the one-man gang. The Great Kabuki teaching his great skills to those in the Orient. And he comes around with a crashing blow to the back of the head, maneuvering those well-educated feet and legs. And now here's attack mode. A thrust into the midsection. A thrust into the face of the mountain man from Chicago. A chop across the head. Another chop. Looked like a fist that went in with the left. He threw, showed him a right, came up with the left. A judo chop across the head. Jiu-jitsu, karate. And the other highly disciplined skills of the East. And now Gary Hart has Kabuki's attention, and the great one. Letting Gary Hart take his attention and his discipline away for a moment. And that cost him the one-man gang from Halstead Straight, Chicago.
Stay on him, pull him out of there. Watch him in that corner. Watch him, keep him
going. Would be his style. As opposed to the Great Kabuki, where style and artistic accomplishment. A hammering elbow to the back of the head, and the Great Kabuki's in trouble. And Sunshine watching with anguish as the Great Kabuki takes a pummeling now from this mountain of a man from the Windy City. Kabuki hammered again by the one-man gang. Kabuki stretched across the bottom rope, and of course that's a choke. There she is. A face as lovely as that should never be anguished. But in this business, there are moments of thrills and there are moments of terror. The one-man gang now astride the hair of the Great Kabuki. Sunshine. Distraught. Gary Hart pleased with the way things are going. Hart talking to Bronco Lubitsch. And the one-man gang continues to maneuver in on the Great Kabuki. Has him in a choke again. The count goes, and the one-man gang pulls off. In the back, 450 pounds. Striking into the back and neck of the Great Kabuki. Sunshine is in a real predicament. She would like to help. She'd like to come up with some solution. But she is really, in this case, outmanning Kabuki.
Watch him now.
Fighting back, coming up. Coming out, taking the blows. Discipline. Middle with a hook, and down goes the one-man gang. A tremendous kick, and now into the war dance of the Great Kabuki. A chop, another chop, another blow. The head snaps back on the one-man gang. Another blow to the midsection. Over the top goes the one-man gang. And here comes Gary Hart, and Hart is smashed in. The Great Kabuki on Gary Hart, the man who used to be his manager. The Great Kabuki tearing on the shirt, pulling on the shirt. Denuding. chain across the back of the Great Kabuki, and that's going to disqualify the gang, but will it be in time to save the Great Kabuki? Gary Hart is a battered, bashed, his clothes ripped. Now Kabuki held up by these chains, and the green mist into the face of the one-man gang, and Kabuki saving it for his moment of need, his moment of triumph. Kabuki still. A great kick. A karate kick. And now Gary Hart is his victim. Gary Hart is the man he wants. And Kabuki dragging at the tie. Is he going to strangle Gary Hart? He has Gary Hart strangling him in the corner. Here comes the one-man gang. He's got to save Gary, and does. Hart just saved in the nick of time. And Sunshine coming in. She is trying to, when Kabuki is at this state, it is dangerous to move around him because he is in another state of mind. He's in another plane. And now let's go to Mark Lawrence.
On the disqualification, the Great Kabuki is the winner of the bout.
The Great Kabuki is the winner. There goes Gary Hart, helped out of the arena. There's the winner, and we'll be back with more World Class Championship.